What if I told you that in the heart of Europe there is a capital where you can still see the scars of the Cold War while discovering one of the most modern and influential cities on the continent? Today, we're heading to Berlin, a city that experienced division, surveillance, and closed borders before becoming a global symbol of freedom, innovation, and renewal. Before diving into the history of Berlin and East Germany, it is impossible to talk about this country without mentioning its passion for football. Germany is one of the most respected nations in the history of world football. The German national team has won the FIFA World Cup 4 times. In 1954, 1974, 1990, and 2014. Few national teams can boast such an impressive record. What often sets Germany apart is not only the number of trophies it has won, but also its ability to remain competitive generation after generation. Even during difficult periods, German supporters continue to fill stadiums and support their team with remarkable loyalty. Football is truly part of the German way of life. Every weekend, millions of people follow Bundesliga matches, the national championship considered one of the most popular leagues in the world. German stadiums are renowned for their atmosphere. Modern infrastructure and ticket prices that are often more affordable than those of other major European leagues. Clubs such as Bayern Munich, Borussia Dortmund, and Hamburger SV have helped build the international reputation of German football at a time when the World Cup attracts the attention of billions of viewers around the globe. Visiting Germany also helps explain why this sport occupies such an important place in the national culture. Here, football goes far beyond the sporting arena. It is part of the country's identity, but behind this popular passion lies a far more complex story. To understand modern Germany, we must return to a time when the country was divided into two completely different worlds. Our journey through Central Europe continues under the summer sun. And this time, we are stopping in Germany, a country that plays a major role in both the European and global economy. But to understand Berlin today, we need to go back several decades. After the Second World War, Germany was divided into two opposing states. In the east emerged the German Democratic Republic, better known as East Germany or the GDR. Created in 1949 under Soviet influence, it adopted a socialist system with a state-controlled economy and a single ruling party. For more than 40 years, millions of people lived behind what many considered the Iron Curtain. Daily life there was unique. Education and healthcare were accessible to the population. Unemployment was virtually non-existent, but individual freedoms were heavily restricted. At that time, traveling freely abroad was often little more than a dream. The media were controlled, and criticism of the government could lead to serious consequences. The famous Stasi, one of the most feared intelligence services of its era, monitored a significant portion of society. From an economic perspective, East Germany initially succeeded in developing its industry, particularly in chemicals, engineering, and manufacturing. However, from the 1970s onward, difficulties became increasingly visible. A lack of innovation, technological competition from the West, and shortages of certain resources gradually slowed economic growth. What always strikes me when visiting cities that lived through this period is how strongly political decisions can influence the daily lives of ordinary people. Access to consumer goods, technology, international transportation, and entrepreneurship was completely different from what we know today. The most famous symbol of this division remains the Berlin Wall. Built in 1961, it separated families, friends, and sometimes even entire neighborhoods. For nearly 3 decades, it became the most recognizable image of the confrontation between East and West. Then came the year 1989. Peaceful demonstrations gained momentum. The population demanded greater freedom and the system began to weaken. When the wall finally fell, the images traveled around the world and marked one of the defining historical moments of the 20th century. If you enjoy discovering lesser-known countries, understanding their real history, and seeing places rarely shown in traditional media, be sure to subscribe now and explore the other travel documentaries available on the channel. Today, Berlin tells this story in the open air. Several sections of the wall are still visible and remind visitors of what Europe's division once meant. The city is also home to numerous memorials dedicated to the victims of Nazism and the events of the Cold War. But Berlin does not live only in its past. The city has become one of Europe's leading centers for technology, startups, and innovation. Young entrepreneurs from around the world settle here to develop new projects in digital technology, artificial intelligence, and online services. From a financial perspective, Germany remains Europe's largest economy. This strength is reflected in its infrastructure, public transportation systems, urban services, and overall quality of facilities. For travelers, this means convenient transportation, fast trains, and an especially efficient network connecting the country's major cities. For those who appreciate luxury travel, Berlin also offers a wide range of modern hotels, renowned restaurants, and numerous wellness facilities. This combination of historical heritage and contemporary comfort appeals to history enthusiasts as much as it does to lovers of modern lifestyle experiences. As you explore the city, you also encounter constant contrasts. Some districts feature ultra-modern architecture, while others still preserve buildings from different historical periods. This diversity gives Berlin an identity that is difficult to compare with any other European capital. Among the city's most iconic landmarks is the famous Brandenburg Gate, which has become one of Germany's most recognizable symbols. Once located directly beside the border, separating East and West, it now represents Germany's reunified identity. Art lovers will also find plenty to enjoy thanks to the city's numerous museums, galleries, and cultural spaces. Berlin has long attracted artists, musicians, filmmakers, and creators from every corner of the world. What I particularly appreciate here is the way the city embraces its history rather than trying to erase it. The mistakes of the past remain visible, explained, and studied. This approach helps people better understand the present while preparing for the future. Berlin demonstrates how a city can endure major crises, transform itself profoundly, and become one of the economic, technological, and cultural engines of an entire region. The history of East Germany remains a subject of debate in Germany even today. Some emphasize the social benefits of the system, while others point to the many restrictions placed on individual freedoms. I discovered the story of a city that was divided and reunited, of a country that overcame the wounds of its past to build a democratic and prosperous future. This complexity is an integral part of contemporary German identity. One thing is certain, few places in Europe allow you to see so clearly how history, politics, economics, technology, and modern lifestyle intersect within the same urban space. Thank you for joining us on this new stage of our European adventure. To discover more original destinations, little-known cultures, and exclusive reports from countries that few travelers truly explore, watch the other videos on the channel, leave a comment, activate notifications, and subscribe so you don't miss any future journeys.